Welcome to Friday Fish Facts. I'm your host, Ron DeSantis. Today we're doing the top 5 easiest fish to breed. Now I'm just going, this is like nothing that I've looked up, this is just from my personal experience. I either keep all these fish or I have kept all these fish. There's only one fish on this list that I don't currently have, but all these fish I've kept. I've bred some other fish as well, but maybe they weren't as easy, or maybe they were even easier, but they were similar to these other ones on these lists. So that's kind of how I distinguish things. Guys, if you really like videos like this, please consider subscribing, hitting that like button, and at the end of this video, in the comments, maybe you could put your top 5 in the list. The first one we're going to do is the Corydora.
Not all Corydoras are created equal. Some are easier to breed than other ones. These ones here are the Adolfo or the Dolfio Corys, which happen to be my favorite. I've had them for 4 or 5 months now, and they have not spawned for me yet. I also have another group called the Emerald Corys, and they have not spawned, and I've had them for almost a year now. The Corys that I do breed, and on a regular basis, are the albino Corys. I've been breeding these for almost a year now. It was kind of a bit of a slow start, but once they got going, they really got going for me. So as you can see, the eggs are on the side. They're easy, you just pull them off. I put them in one of these breeder boxes, just the ones that go inside the tank, and then I just set them in front of the hang-on back filter, letting the water flow over the eggs, and that really keeps them from fungusing. And then you've got some Corydora fry that after they've been in that net for a couple of weeks, I put them in a 5.5 gallon, and then from there I'm going to move them to a bigger, like 20 gallon long, and grow them out from there. The first week of their life, I give them the Hikari first bites. After that, I switch over to baby brine shrimp. And then when they're about 4 months old, they just get flakes and crushed up tetracolor granule. If you find you're doing everything right, but they still won't breed, check out the tank mates, because I had this guy once I took him out, no problem.
And he's mean. Next on the list, we've got your Ancestris or Bristlenose Pleco.
Bristlenose Plecos come in a variety of different colors. You've got the brown, the albino, but then you've also got calico, super red, the L144. You get into some of the fancier ones like the starlights, and these are actually really good ones to breed for profit if that's something that you're interested in. Not too difficult to breed these guys either. Easier by quite a bit than the Corydoras. Find a cave that is the right size for your male, that's just snug enough, and he's going to take care of the eggs for you. Once he traps a female, he's going to get her to lay her eggs. He'll then start fanning the eggs, and then those eggs are going to turn into fry, and those fry are going to have their own sack for about 4 days, and then you're going to need to start feeding them. You're going to want to feed your plecos, not just algae. They need fresh vegetables like cucumber, green beans, zucchinis. I also like to feed mine omega-1 wafers.
So next on the list, I really wanted to have, there was a few cichlids that I could have had. I thought about maybe putting angelfish on the list. I thought about maybe putting African cichlids on the list, but I went with the cichlid that is the easiest to breed in my experience. It's also a fish that I haven't kept in about 25 years. That's the Convict cichlid.
Convict cichlids are not fussy at all when it comes to water parameters. If you do find that you're not sure why they're not breeding, try cranking up the heat a little bit, maybe up to like 82 or something like that. Do a 20% water change and they should breed for you. They'll have hundreds of babies at a time. They get very territorial. You want to feed them the newly hatched fry after about a week, and baby brine shrimp, that's the #1 food choice for them.
I want to say thanks to Daynna Amskold, who provided me with the videos of her Convict cichlids. She's also a member of the Vancouver Aquatic Hobbyist Society. Next on the list isn't fish, it's shrimp. More specifically, Neocaridina shrimp, or cherry shrimp.
In order to keep Neocaridina shrimp happy, you have to have calcium in the water. This is so they can molt, which is when they shed their skin and then they grow new skin. If they can do that, they'll live. If they have hiding spots and you don't have any other fish in the tank, they'll lay eggs. So if you have a lot of hiding spots, like I keep fish with my shrimp, I just make sure I have lots of hiding spots, and then they'll lay eggs, and those eggs won't get eaten, and you will have shrimp like you wouldn't believe. I started out with 10 cherry shrimp, 7 of them died, 3 survived. I ended up having close to 1,000 after that before I started selling them. They're a great fish or aquatic pet to sell for profit, especially if you get some of the different colored variants, and a great addition to any tank as long as they won't get eaten.
Number 1 on the list is Livebearers. I mean, come on, it's gotta be Livebearers. I've kept the 4 main ones: swordtails, platies. The first fish I ever bred was mollies, and of course guppies. Guppies are a great fish to keep. I still keep a lot of them, so we're gonna focus on guppies. They're my number 1.
Guppies are one of the most fun fish to have for beginners, intermediate, experts alike. Who doesn't like looking at a tank full of fry in there? They're easy to keep as long as you keep the water kind of at like a 7.0 pH. They should be happy. They're going to breed for you. If you have lots of hiding spots, you don't need to remove the fry in most cases. There are some types of guppies that will go after their fry no matter what. They're not picky eaters, although I find they grow the fastest with the fluval bug bites. These guys also fuel my fish room as far as breeding fish for profit. People buy guppies all the time because it's a fish that they can breed themselves. And they're beautiful.
Don't forget to tell me your top 5 easiest fish to breed. Join me next week for another edition of Friday Fish Facts.